Okay, this is number two, okay? So I was recently forced out of my place by my landlord, which happens to be my parents, my mom and dad. And I take meds. When I was finally living on my own, I decided that I should be on meds because I've always wanted to my entire life. I just wasn't allowed to. Um, and what originally I was renting a place from my mom when I was living in Surrey several years ago. This is in BC, Canada. If anybody knows or is from here, what's up? But I take meds and they keep me calm. They get rid of my anxiety, my depression, my borderline personality disorder comes in lower levels. I got major depressive disorder. I got monophobia, uh, monophobic, whatever way you want to say it. And I've been recently forced out of my place, which when I left the hospital from that first place had mold in it. And I found out there's mold in it. I kept reporting it to my mom as my landlord. Hey, they got to get a specialist in here. Just get someone to come check it out. Kept saying this every month for over a year until I got so sick that I almost died. I actually got stuck in a chair. I couldn't stand up. And I was covered from head to toe in like what was in between looking like measles or like scabies. Like that's how bad my skin was, okay? My family has a history of mold, being allergic to it. And it's not good, man. Not good. So my mom, I worked for her and my dad under their business cleaning Airbnbs for 2.5 years when between the age of like 17 and 20, I'd say. Um, they never actually paid me for any of it. I was working with a girlfriend at the time that I was dating. We're not together anymore. We don't talk anymore. Nothing like that. Um, she was making. We both paid half and half rent. She was making $19.50 a month, and I was making nothing. Nothing. I never got a paycheck. Not once. My mom has put in my taxes saying that I have made this money, which is federally fraud. That's fraud, like government fraud. And you can't do that. That's so illegal. And I was getting tired of living in the storage room underground that they put me in after I got out of the hospital. And I couldn't walk when I came out of the hospital. I was sitting in a bed for so long I had no muscles. I could not even walk 10 feet holding my backpack without getting tired. While I was in the hospital, my mom had stopped paying the rent at that house, threw out all my belongings in this 2-bedroom rancher house. Okay, I had no basement, but the whole house was completely filled with all my furniture, all my stuff. Some things in there were priceless. And she just laughs at it. She thinks that it's funny that she threw away all my stuff, and it hurt me. It really did. And it really affected me because, I came out of a hospital. I didn't even own anything but my dog. I had nothing. I had not even a pair of clothes to change into. And that's excruciating for me because how do you have all that stuff and then one day you get sick and you ask your family for help, and then when you come out of the hospital you have nothing left? You own nothing? It's sick. It's very sickening. And they put me inside of a storage room because they didn't want to house me inside their unit. Even after signing a tenancy agreement form for my disability payments, you still don't care about me. And they didn't give me the door code. My brother, my 7-year-old brother, 7 years apart from me, older brother, he knew the door code. He didn't even live in the building. But he would come by every morning and go upstairs and just go in. But yeah, I wasn't allowed to do that. I wasn't allowed to take a shower when I wanted to. I wasn't allowed to use the bathroom when I wanted to. My mom would purposely put stuff in my food or leave my food out like for a long time to make it go bad, so that when she gave it to me, I'd get sick. This happened all the time. Right before I left, she started actually putting cooked sharp bones and chicken cooked bones, like chicken wing bones, in my dog's food, underneath everything to hide it, so like he would choke on it and, I don't know, die, I guess. And I figured it out, and I caught her doing it at least 6 times, and I have videos of me finding it twice. This is extremely fucked up because she believes that she can do this and get away with it. But nobody listens to me. I'm trying. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know who to say anything to. I don't think that anybody will even believe me. But like, I have the proof of it all. I have proof of the 176 grand they owe me for the years I worked for them in their Airbnb, but they never paid me anything. But through my taxes, it says that I've made this money, but I've never seen it in my life. That's a little that's that's tax fraud right there. That's number one. Number two, after denying me my rights of having a specialist come in to check out mold, I got really sick. It was in between, like I said, scabies and probably, it was horrible. Like, it looked like I had holes in my skin or bugs in my skin. Like, it was that bad. And it was from living in this house that had the whole attic is black mold. The whole attic. I take medication. I am on disability permanently. And my parents purposely waited until I was out of my meds so that I would have difficulty struggling and keeping my emotions in check when this all happened. They wanted me to freak out so that they could call the police on me and then, have me arrested for looking crazy, right? But I woke up with them standing at my door, the storage room, my Uncle Tom, Thomas Park, my Auntie Jessica Crescenza, and my mom, Mary Smith, all standing outside the door. My Auntie Jessica was filming me. I got pictures of this. With a big smile on her face, my mom standing in the back with a big smirk on her face, and my uncle yelling at me, threatening me, trying to make me feel like I'm intimidated to get the fuck out. I had 10 minutes from waking up to pack my shit and get out, or they would call the police on me and they would remove me. And like he said, they would come here and they will arrest you and they will take you to jail. Do you think I'm afraid of going to jail? I've been in jail like 11 times since I moved down there, okay? And not only 2 of them were actually my fault. But they didn't give a shit to listen about my side of the story every time I went. So my knowledge knows that if I get put in jail, they don't care about my dog. My dog will get put in the pound. And he did run away many years ago, and my mom told me that if he ever went to the pound again, they're not helping me. I'll lose my dog. I'll never have him again. He is my registered PSD, psychiatric service dog, and my certified ESA, and I do have my PAL and my doctor's notes for those. I am disabled. I'm on disability permanently. I have borderline personality disorder, major depressive disorder, anxiety, severe social anxiety. I have, I was getting psychosis because I couldn't sleep there. And I was starting to hear sirens all the time because 2.5 years ago, I actually had some guy staying in Airbnb accuse me of being homeless and breaking into cars in my residential parking underground of my building. And I had VPD break open my second gate that you walk through, you scan your fob, and the gate opens for you. So I scanned, and when I walked through, they were running at me. And they never told me, that, like, as soon as they came through the first gate to come into that gate, that's already, like, they can't. They're not allowed. It's by law. That's trespassing. That's private. It's all private property. And there's gates before that they're not even supposed to pass, okay? So this guy that doesn't even live in my building, nothing, was just visiting, saw me moving stuff from one of my vehicles to another one of my vehicles. And he just assumed, made up some random fantasy that I'm homeless breaking into cars. So these cops come in, tackle me down, fucking hold me down, knee me in the back of the head several times, knee me in my lower back several times, and I got spinal scoliosis. That shit hurts. It still hurts even today. Nobody gives a fuck about that, though. Sorry, pardon my language. And my issue right now is that I'm stuck in a vehicle I bought with my disability money, my whole check of my disability payment. I bought this vehicle with, so I can still move my bottles back and forth in the building because I volunteered to help them manage the recycle rooms better because my business is refurbish and recycle bright. Sorry, I'm getting off track. So that's why I ended up saying in the beginning, carrying a bag of cans, 10, 15 feet, because that's something I did every day. I offered to them that I would help them manage their recycle rooms in order to help, spread awareness for them to bring their kids in, teach their kids how to properly recycle, and it's not a shame to do it. We got to start somewhere. We got to have some good generations coming. And I myself, I found out when I was in the hospital, I can't have kids. I have an extra chromosome. So for that, I love kids. I love them. I always will. And just because I can't have them doesn't mean I can't care about them.